Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie, and it might take a little bit longer for some people.
A lot of you people out there, honestly, you guys sound really foolish, and you have to understand why Caitlan Clark's going to have fans that don't like her. This is the way sports is, especially when you prop somebody up and you kind of force feed them down our throats, and you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. And when you're telling me someone is going to save a league, and someone is going to be the Messiah, and someone is going to be the new prophet, like LeBron was the chosen one, and when you tell me all of that, there is no warm-up to me. There is no getting acclimated to me. Martin and I both had a pretty, long road to get to where we are. But when we got where we are, we didn't look at each other and go, okay, we got to get acclimated to have it. We got to get ready for it. No, we're ready now. We're ready now. Like, you're supposed to be ready now. And everybody's talking about the viewership and how many people were watching in college. And I was one of the people that stood out and said, you guys aren't going to keep this up. Let's not act like you care about a league that's averaging about 700K of viewership per game. You won't. Her debut was lower than the draft. So it's going backwards. And game 2 was lower. And game 3, that was on ESPN this morning, was lower. It's not that people don't like her. Sports fans now, Martin, I think, are getting tired of being just force-fed something that most people can look at and go, yeah, she's good or he's good, but legendary, iconic, the GOAT. When you start throwing those things around and it doesn't translate to what's happening on the field, the play, or the court, the track, whatever, you are going to have a contingency of fans who are going to point it out and who are going to fight back. I actually feel a little sorry for Caitlan Clark, honestly, because I don't think she asked for all of this, but this is what it is. This is where you're at now. Every shot's going to be scrutinized. Martin, I saw people breaking down film of where teammates missed her, which is fine, but I guarantee you those people ain't never broke down the damn WNBA video before.
When Diana Taurasi said that, that was when Iowa was advancing from the Final Four to the championship game. All right? People called her, including on this, I had an argument right here.
Yeah, you and Monty was doing the show together.
I wasn't going to say it out loud, but yeah.
I'll say her name.
Yes. But Diana Taurasi was called all types of things, from selfish to jealous to being a hater.
Yeah.
All of this. Maybe, just maybe, she knows a little bit more about women's professional basketball than all of us. Why? Because she's been in the mix for the last 20 doggone years, damn near. Okay? The idea that Caitlan Clark was going to come into the WNBA, the league in which, take the salaries and put them to the side, because I understand you can make more as a freaking trial lawyer in America than you can as a women's professional basketball player. That's a different conversation that we'll have at another time.
Pathetic.
It absolutely is. But this is the most competitive professional league in the United States. Period. Stop. I know that may sound crazy to some people, but you have to understand the reality of just the spots available.
Yep.
There are only 144 available spots every year in the WNBA. Now, as Steve and BJ were just talking about a minute ago, the salary cap constraints in the WNBA are such that you have some teams that only carry 11 players. Compare that to the NBA. The WNBA is 12 teams with 12 roster spots. The NBA is 30 teams with 15 roster spots. There is no such thing as a Thanasis Antetokounmpo in the WNBA.
It never will be.
There is no such thing as that.
Never will be.
There is no such thing as I can't think of some of the other guys at the very end of the bench. There is no such thing
Tristan
as
Thompson.
a Udonis Haslem in the WNBA in the second half of the later third of his career, where he's sitting there with gray hair on the bench for moral support,
knowing he's not gonna play.
Every woman in this league can ball their ass off. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the league.
The WNBA is failing the other rookies who are not Caitlan Clark, and we have got to talk about it.
The WNBA has got to do a better job at promoting the other rookies because we want to see them just as much as we want to see Caitlan Clark. Caitlan Clark is not the only rookie who has made an impact on this league, and this league is not going to grow if they only focus on Caitlan Clark. I want to see the Twin Towers. I want to see Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso when she returns. I want to see Cameron Brink and Rakia Johnson. I want to see more of these rookies. This year's draft class was filled with so much talent, and the fact that they are getting basically no publicity at all is insane to me. Like, they are literally giving the WNBA the platform to grow in the way that they have wanted to grow over the past couple of years, yet you can't even watch their games on national TV. They got my girl Angel Reese flying in commercial flights. They got my girls Rakia Johnson and Cameron Brink playing in dimmed out arenas. Like, what is really going on? I am so glad that the NBA gave Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso their flowers in that NBA Finals commercial, but I need more from the actual league that they are in. The WNBA has got to stop showing favorites with these rookies and start giving them all their flowers because they all deserve it.
Points per game, but Jewell Loyd with 11 in this 13-4 push at the last 5:40 of this first quarter has been really impressive.
Yeah, and she's the only starter for Seattle that did not get a breather in that first quarter, so they will start the second quarter without Jewell on the floor. We'll see where they go to offensively.
Gumake back in the game for the Storm. Here's Horston on the rebound on the weak side, and she'll hand it to Skylar Diggins-Smith. Seattle shooting 53% from the field in that first quarter. High post to Gumake. Diggins-Smith flings it up from 15. Get it to go. Can't get it. Alyssa Smith the rebound. Hands off to a pushing Mitchell. Now Clark. Bullet pass inside. Nneka standing her ground. Smith. Good. Alyssa Smith's been problematic thus far. Every point for the Indiana Fever has been in the paint. And here's a turnover on Seattle. Only their third of the game. Lexi Hull with it. Hull over to Clark. Can't lose her. And Sammy does it. Stays right with her. But as Caitlan turned the corner, Sammy hip checked her. Clark, easy as you please. Defense got lost there. 2 dribbles and up. And Caitlan Clark is on the board.
Seattle's defense has been stellar so far about limiting space for Clark to work with.
Sammy Whitcomb steps through, can't get it to go. Ball loose, back to Horston. Horston drives in, goes right by Hall. How about Alyssa Smith? She says, all right, I saw you do that, Jordan, a couple times on the other end. I can do it too. 12 points and 14 rebounds, so she has been problematic for Seattle ever since she's come into the league.
Yeah, she's averaged 15.5 points, 9 boards last year. One of the better low post threats in the game.
Oh, Gumake, such a pretty jump shot. Fading away and to the side. So difficult.
And Jewell Loyd, a very quick break, already back onto the floor for the Storm. Want to stay hot.
High post looking for Smith, and digging in is Ezzy Magbegor, a little too aggressive. They gave her the first pop of the ball, but not the second one.
Gosh, 20 feet from the hoop.
And that's 2 on Ezzy. Not big-time foul trouble, but just enough to get her to the bench for a couple of minutes. Horston gets a piece of another one. Kick it back out. Samuelson. Clark. Good D by Diggins defending the 3, but didn't defend the drive. Clark misses, gets her own rebound, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Again, I can't say enough about the closeout from Seattle's defense. Clark.
Scorekeepers did not give Jordan Horston credit for a block there. I thought she got a piece of that.
I also didn't give one to Ezzy Magbegor when she tipped it earlier today. She had that one monster block, but unless it's a full-fledged block, I guess you got to be more demonstrative or something.
27-21. Storm with the advantage. Jewell tries to split the double, and she is tripped and falls.
Lexi Hull, the best perimeter defender for Indiana, did not play in the first quarter.
Diggins-Smith directing traffic. Jewell gets a big screen from Nneka. Goes left to right. Flings it up and hits. Jewell Loyd with 15 on 6 of 9, including 2 of 3 from three-point range.
And staying hot after getting a breather. You love to see that.
Crowd chanting defense, all 18,000 of them. Kick to the corner, Lexi Hull answers, and that's a 3-ball.
A Spokane native said before the game her mom and dad in the house to cheer her, one of the sellout crowd today here at Climate Pledge.
Ball swings around, Vivians tries to answer, can't do it. Jewel's right there for the tip in. You mentioned Hull's family. Father was an All-American at Whitworth. Grandfather played at Western Washington, so a lot of state of Washington ties in that family. Here's Lexi with it to Samuelson. Double comes, now back to Mitchell. Jewel knew she was going left and cut her off. Had to go back to the right side. Spinning, no. Great defense by 24. She's doing it on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, really cutting off that strong left hand of Mitchell and forcing her to her counter move.
Energetic Storm team thus far in this game. Diggins-Smith forces one up, no. Noel wanted the call, didn't get it. Big screen, picking off Diggins-Smith. Clark behind the back pass to Smith against NECA. Spinning, firing with the right hand, up and in. More paint points for the Indiana Fever. That's 22. Seattle has 16 of them, and it's now a 6-point game.
Melissa Smith had a lot of space in the middle of the floor because the defense has to stay stuck to Caitlan Clark and Melissa.
Tonight.
Yeah, the turnovers have been an issue for Seattle as they try to build some chemistry on offense, and that's a normal thing that you have to work through. They have taken care of the ball wonderfully so far in this game.
We got a whistle.
That is just average post play. I mean, that's every possession, but it'll get tangled up, and the ref is going to have to call it when you see the arms get tangled.
Here's Agumake. And she's fouled again. That's 3.
Yep.
Oh, now it's trouble for Indiana as their big is in foul issues.
Well, that is what Nneka Agumake does to a defender, is when you put her on an island and you're trying, Boston just, not moving her feet quickly enough to avoid that contact.
Now we're seeing it again, one-on-one basketball again. No, offensive rebound, Jordan Horston. Indiana, the worst defensive team in the league. Jewel has to throw it up with 1 on the shot clock. Out of bounds, but we are seeing a lot of just isolation basketball, but it's work.
Not coming down and first shot they see. They've been working the ball off dribble penetration, especially in this game.
Clark with it. Diggins-Smith's been all over her. She tries to go behind the back again. Kick ball by Seattle out of bounds. It'll be Indiana's possession. Free throw line extended far side.
Diggins-Smith, Sammy Whitcomb, both taking turns in the first half.
Benley throws it to Mitchell. Mitchell was cutting in, and this pass was out towards us at midcourt. But just the second turnover on Indiana. So not only has Seattle played a clean game, so has Indiana as far as Christy Sides looking on.
I don't think she could like that turnover. It was unforced.
Here's Jewel with it. Nneka rolls. Jewel forces it up, and those shots were just not going down for much of the first 4 games of the season for Jewel Lloyd, but they are tonight. Samuelson working on Horston, up and under, and scoring, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Samuelson, former member of the Storm, but Jewel Lloyd continue contact. So often that whistle blows for a 3-point play or to go to the line.
Jewel shot just 24% in the first 4 games, but tonight she is 8 of 12.
Well, the back of the baseball or the basketball card doesn't lie. I mean, she is not going to shoot that poorly for the season, you better believe it.
Well, neither is Skylar Diggins. Diggins has struggled from the field, and she's going to start to heat up as well. Here's Agumake. She hasn't been cold this year. In the games she's played, she's been red hot, and she is 3 for 5 with 6 points in this one.
And that's exactly what she averages, 60% shooting for the season.
In fact, Benley from 15, no. Snatched down by Jewel. Storm out to a 7-point lead. Biggest lead was 11 coming in the first quarter. Jewel has 6 rebounds and airballs that 3.
Yeah, Jewel, you can give her that one. 19 points, 6 rebounds in the first half, doing everything.
Mitchell throws it up. Looks like she almost lost handle of the ball as it went up. Here comes Diggins. Does she bounce pass? Yes, she does. Good catch by Vivians. Oh, they're going to say it. Teamshop.com. Dick Fain, Elise Woodward with you in Seattle, 36-29. The Storm with the advantage. They have led for the most part the whole game. Indiana did have a 1-point lead early stages of the first quarter. And Melissa Smith, she has been public enemy #1 for the Storm. She is the only player now in double figures with 10.
Yeah, she's just really athletic. The combination of her and Aaliyah Boston, really tough to defend. Both of them down in the block.
McMagor with it. Gets a screen from Lloyd. McMagor is left and just leaves the ball on the baseline. Oh my goodness, that was an easy bucket for Ezzy. Mitchell has it, gets a good look. One of the few good looks that Indiana's had from behind the arc, as the perimeter defense has been great for the Storm. But she misses that one.
A little bit of space, but Indiana 1 of 8 from deep.
Here's Jewell going right into traffic. No call. In fact, Benlay was straight up, so says Roy Gobain.
Her army could have been called.
Absolutely. And just to clarify, you can be off your feet.
Absolutely.
You just have to have the
straight up
principle of verticality right there and straight away.
I mean, there was definitely contact and the arms weren't straight up, but not enough contact. What they say, marginal. That is the new catchphrase, marginal contact.
Oh, Jewell gets a handle on that one. Nneka's got it on the run. In a lot of traffic. How did she gather and score? My goodness. Hot potato. Nneka Gumake for 2.
That is just wanting the basketball more than the opponent on that possession. Not to be denied, Nneka Gumake.
Nneka in double figures. She's averaging 20 on the season. And a foul on the Storm will take Indiana to the free throw.
Gone out and grabbed it, but Nneka Gumake on the spot to score again. She's given him a really nice lift, getting back in the starting lineup. 15 minutes for her, 10 points. She's not on a minutes restriction, despite that ankle injury that wasn't able to play the last 2 games. It's just how she feels. Well, it looks like she feels pretty darn good too.
Yeah, you would have no idea she missed the last 2 games and an overtime with an ankle injury. Here's Jewell with it. Jab steps, she's got 19. The most points in a half this year has been 21. Jewell can eclipse that, and the turnaround by Nneka, who's got 12 on 6 of 8 shooting.
Alyssa Smith was all over her, and it did not matter. It was excellent defense, but a better shot.
Wheeler dumps it low to Smith. She's been really the only answer that Indiana has offensively. Stay here with Fever basketball underneath. Skylar Diggins-Smith to check in. She'll replace Jordan Horston.
Nneka goes over the top.
Seattle almost gets a 5 count there. They get it in. Wallace, the 3 ball, and good. Christy Wallace knocking it down from deep. The Aussie. Whitcomb gives it back to Skylar Diggins-Smith. Big screen by Nneka into the corner. As he thinks about it, now puts it on the deck. Drives in, footwork, shot blocked. Nneka's going to run it down. 5 on the shot clock, got to get rid of it. Sammy's going to with 2 on the shot clock and the air ball. And that'll go out of bounds to Indiana as Caitlan Clark checks back into the game for the final 108.
Clark getting a long breather, has only played 14 minutes in the first half.
Clark just 1 of 6. 0 of 3 from behind the arc. So Seattle has dodged the Caitlan Clark bullet thus far. Partially because they're excellent defense. Caitlan short on that one. No, now 1 of 7.
And that was a good look. That was her best look from deep, using the screen, and Whitcomb got stuck on it, just couldn't nail it.
Good bounce pass inside Nneka Gumake. Contact, no call, but she'll get it up to go. She just maintains A, her composure, and B, her balance so well around the basket.
There's Caitlan Clark. Wow, what a answer from her.
Second field goal for Caitlan Clark on the game. She's 2 of 8 with 5 points. 14-second differential, game and shot. Here's Jewell, will back it in. Taking Wallace. Double comes, loses handle of the basketball, forces it up and gets it to go, and Jewell Lloyd has tied Asia Wilson for the most first half points in a game this year. Asia had 21 on May the 14th against Phoenix. Jewell's got 21 right now on 9 of 15. Here's Clark, one-on-one Sammy Whitcomb with 8 seconds left. Goes around to Gumake, drives baseline, and shot rejected by Ezzy McMagor. Second opportunity is up and in by Nalissa Smith. Sammy's got it, picked off by Wallace. She'll fling it up, won't count even if it goes, and that is the end.
Why people don't like Caitlan Clark? because as always, in a losing effort, the media makes it all about her. Caitlan Clark dropped 17 points, but Fever falls short versus Suns. Oh, let me show you. This is Alicia Thomas. She averages a triple-double. I ain't saying Caitlan can't get no shine, but when you put up numbers 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists, no. You ain't supposed to take back seat to no one. The headline should have read, Alicia Thomas and the Suns beat Fever and Caitlan Clark. We could have understood that, but why can't she get some shine? See, no one else can get no shine. Caitlan Clark had 5 fouls and got burnt on defense. She scored 17 but gave up 14. Reason they lost. But everything Caitlan is the golden girl, I guess. Is why people don't like her.